twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning, folks. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Good morning, Diane. I can do all things through him, not by myself, through him that strengthens me. And that's the only place I can come from this morning. It's the only place. I went through all the emotions yesterday, as so did you. I dealt with all the feelings, and I'm not through dealing with those feelings, and so have you. And I feel in a lot of ways some people may not. You can only speak for yourself. And I've always said I never understood exactly how my mother, how others felt that day JFK, RFK, or MLK was assassinated. And I'm pretty sure I do now. I'm pretty sure I do now. So we will go into everything that took place yesterday. We'll discuss what's going on right now. But you know what troubled me so much this morning. And Diane, I think, what was it? Has it been a week? But I came to you on this program, and I get up every day at 3:30 in the morning. And yes, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, 31 years old in Utah. And I get up every morning at 3:30, and I'm in the office at 4. And every single day, I watch, knowing the evil, CNN, CBS, MSNBC, and it's not even been a week ago, Diane, I said to people, do not try to take this evil on by yourself. And I said, you need to have the full armor. You need to have the Word of God, And I said that to you. And I told you on the show that day, you remember all too well, Diane, that I could not even come here and start without knowing how to rebuke the evil. And yesterday, obviously people are already analyzing this. And I want to say this. Yes, it's 9/11, 24 years later. But this is false. Number 61. This is false evil posing as comfort. This is false evil posing as comfort. Now, there are networks all over this morning that are approaching this as how tragic, how upsetting, how violence is never the answer. And they have a comforting tone. Evil can come very well dressed. Evil can be very persuasive. Evil can even have the front of love on its face, caring. But this is evil masked as comfort. So don't get caught off guard with these people. Now, I want to say this. There's a couple things. I think for me, so I can't speak for you, and I won't. And I never come on here and speak for you. I do not. For me, it was life-changing. Like every moment that happens in time that we exist on this earth can affect and make changes and alter something. It's never too late. For me, and I will go into detail later, but for me, yesterday, it was life-changing. I know the FBI is looking for a murderer, an assassin. I know they are. I know eyewitnesses are saying what the mood was like, what happened, and the fear on the ground. I know that. I know that. But I thought, what was it like? What was it like to give your testimony of your love for Jesus Christ to 2,000 kids? And the next thing you know, you're standing in the glorious presence of our Lord and Savior, just like that. Just in the blink of an eye. And I thought to myself, am I doing that? Am I doing that? If something happens today and the good Lord says, come home, in the blink of that eye, will I be leaving this and entering the glorious presence of the Lord the same way Charlie Kirk did? No, it got me all afternoon. And, you know, so I did. I thought about it all afternoon because he was in Utah. And you know, I didn't really watch Charlie. But I loved the political debate because if you don't know me, I love political debate. I love it. And this guy, his brilliance. I didn't really watch the podcast. And a lot of the Turning Point Action events, I knew they were big cheerleading events and rah, rah, rah. And that's okay. But it was the college campus political debate. Prove me wrong. The kids loved it. Even the kids that vehemently disagreed with him, they loved it. And no one could do it. Like, I would go outside again. I didn't really watch a podcast, and I've heard a lot of things that Charlie has said. But I'd go outside and on YouTube, it'd be like, well, Charlie Kirk was at this college. I'd listen to 20 minutes. I love the debate. The debate was amazing. And Charlie never went to a college campus. Never went to a college campus that he didn't share his faith. His faith and his belief in Jesus Christ. And Jesus saved him from from death, he said. You know, yesterday, a shooter took his earthly life. But Charlie had victory in Jesus, and that shooter could not take his eternal life. Rest in that. Now, you know, Charlie, and here's what's upsetting, and I'll get into some other things. Oh, get that evil. That is evil. Get that off the screen. Sorry, Diane. I didn't ask for you to move it. 76. Give me 75 and then 76. Now, so yesterday, manhunt ongoing shooter for murder of Charlie Kirk. This is the picture that we all remember. Okay. Now we will later on. There's some people analyzing a lot of stuff. That's not me today. Okay. And here's Charlie. Leave him here as he is preparing to talk to 3,000 students there in Utah. The very first question he gets yesterday, because he's in Utah, predominantly Mormons are there, and the very first question he gets yesterday surrounded the challenge of him, his faith, and Mormons. And this guy, before the question, and we'll get into that later, before the question about the transgender shooting, okay? Before that question, Charlie shared his faith and his belief in Jesus with 3,000 kids. I mean, I could not get over that yesterday afternoon, that only God knew. No one in that crowd that I'm aware of, Charlie, his security, only God knew that the last thing he would do is share his faith in his Lord and Savior. Now, I'm very upset this morning because none of the networks. I'm tired of hearing Trump loyalists. I'm tired of hearing Charlie described as a Trump loyalist, a MAGA favorite, a MAGA leader. Can MAGA carry on? Was Charlie the generation that was going to take it to the next level? But a Trump loyalist. Nothing from yesterday, this morning, every network, nothing on what Charlie was actually sharing with these young people on college campuses. Nothing. They would come out and say, white men, he increased voting in white men. No, I although that was the result, you know what Charlie told all men in that crowd? 18, 19 years old, be a man. Right? Get married. Have responsibilities. Follow the Lord. Treat your wife with respect. Have children. Charlie advocated for a family. Have a family. You could go through that. Now, yes, his podcast, he talked about that. He talked about a lot of political things in his podcast. But when he went to those college campuses, those were my favorites. Those were my favorites. And I was looking forward to this tour. So let me just say to you as we go on. Last night I put a quote on X. And I didn't really know how to come do a show. And then I thought about this. You know, I understand everybody's going through so many emotions. But I thought to myself, this is flat out evil. So I'm going to just flip through these quickly because this is where I truly want to start. And then we'll come back and I want to share some of the great highlights. And thank you out there for sending me many highlights of Charlie Kirk. Number 40, New Testament verse where the Apostle Paul expresses his confidence in the Christian belief that death is not final, but a transition to being at home with the Lord. The passage that encourages courage and longing for eternal life. So you got to understand, Paul was confident, right? Give me number 41. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body to be present with the Lord. Now, for those of you out there, maybe you don't have faith, maybe you're not a Christian, but this is what you have to hang on to this morning. This is what you have to hang on to. You have to stand firm on this. Give me number 42. Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all of you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Now, they go on there, and there's more to that passage. But you got to take this burden. You got to take these feelings. And I'm gonna lay that out for you because you cannot look evil directly in the eye. Because at Illinois State, someone came to the microphone to address Charlie Kirk dressed as Satan. And I didn't put that video. I should have got that video. But Charlie looked at this individual and said, I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of the Lord. That's what he said. So you have to understand, that was evil yesterday. Number 43. So then, my blessed brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. I went on all the social media yesterday. I heard the people screaming. I've heard the "this is war." I heard all of that. And I get it. I'm not going to judge them for their feelings. But I said yesterday afternoon, I have to relax. I have to work through this. I have to know where my strength comes from. I can't lash out just in pure anger. Give me number 44. When facing evil, honest communication with God, expressing one's concerns and feelings about the situation, requesting God's intervention in the matter, trusting in God's ultimate power and perfect justice to resolve the situation in His timing. All right? Now, I'm going to give you two more, and we're going to go in, let's see, I think I want to go to 46. Because I've told you over and over, Charlie Kirk himself rebuked evil, rebuked Satan in the name of the Lord. Now, first thing you got to do, talk to God. So speak honestly to God about the evil. Speak to Him. The Bible does not require silence about pain and struggle when facing evil. Instead, it encourages direct and honest communication with God, right? Why, Lord? Psalms 10:1 asks, why, Lord, do you stand far off? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? Right? You can speak honestly. Honestly, speak to God honestly about it. Ask God to intervene. Make sure you go and ask Him. Instead of taking matters into your own hands, a biblical response to turn to God in prayer and ask for His intervention, right? Acknowledge God's power. Acknowledge you don't have this power on your own. Acknowledge God's power. All right? This response recognizes God's power to act and deal with injustice in ways humans cannot. All right? It is a way to handing over the situation to the ultimate authority. So first, speak to God very openly and honestly about the evil, about what's going on, about how you feel. Say it out loud. This is how I feel. This is how I'm truly bothered. He's listening. Trust God for justice. The third biblical response is to step back from personal vengeance and trust that God, the righteous judge, will carry out pure and perfect justice in His timing. That's where it gets tough. We feel we could just get justice immediately. Just get justice immediately. Why not? What are we waiting for? Take the matter into our own hands. But that's not how you deal with evil. Okay? And I've asked you, and I say I've asked you nicely over and over, don't try to attempt it on your own. Don't do it. Only in the name of the Lord can you rebuke this evil. You can rebuke these demons that we watch. And that's what happened yesterday. Evil. Evil is all over the world. It's covering the whole world. And you have to just embrace the word and how to go about dealing with it. And I'm sorry how I may be coming across. But go ahead and get upset. Go ahead. And go ahead and have that. Go out, take a ride. Take a walk through the woods. Have that talk with God. So I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share that because, again, I am totally and completely I'm upset that all I kept hearing this morning is Charlie Kirk, a close Trump ally. Give me video 18.
Are you a Christian by any chance?
Very, very much so.
Like, why is that exactly?
Oh, Jesus saved my life. I'm a sinner, gave my life to Christ, most important decision I ever made.
So you believe the Bible is real?
Yes, I believe the Bible is true and real. Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I could give you the technical answer. There's never been an archaeological discovery that has contradicted the truth of the Bible. And then, of course, the wisdom. There is not a truth of the Bible that if you apply to your life does not improve dramatically. And then finally, we have the most accurate and transparent, historically robust account that one can have of the most important figure ever to live in the history of the world, Jesus of Nazareth. And the resurrection is the pinpoint of my belief that Jesus did rise from the grave so that we may live. If Genesis 1:1 and the resurrection is true, anything in the Bible is possible. You're looking at the greatest miracle. The greatest miracle is creation. And then the fact that Jesus rose from the dead. And I say, how do you know that Jesus rose from the dead? Well, show me another historical piece of a story where so many people willingly died a brutal death for a lie. Every single person around him had everything to lose, and yet they went to the absolute death, from Paul to Peter to the half-brother of James, saying that Jesus is Lord, Jesus rose from the dead. Not to mention, if you were going to fake a story, you would not use female witnesses in the ancient world. In the scriptures, it said that the women were the first one to see Jesus Christ. If you're trying to fake a story, you would never do that.
You see, when we talk about Peter and we talk about Paul, and he says they went to their death, who would do that? Who would do that? Who would stand before crowds of thousands? Who would stand and give that testimony when this young man came to the microphone and said, "You say you're a Christian"? Who would share that with 10,000, 8,000, 5,000 people to the death? Charlie Kirk. Take a break.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting edge digital technology and state of the art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second to none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. I thought what I would do this morning, my first hour, I want to spend more time on Charlie, Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk yesterday afternoon heard, "Well done." And that's what I dealt with yesterday afternoon with a long list. And I'm going to just say to you, if I'm having trouble moving towards politics right now, we will. So I thought what I'd do is it's really bothered me that Charlie Kirk has been identified as a Trump loyalist, but that's okay. But that's all they keep saying. All right. Trump loyalist. And, that is for the evil ones, excuse me, for the evil ones, that is absolutely a, for the evil ones, that is absolutely a little whistle out there. Don't forget, he was a Trump loyalist. Don't forget. We can't forget he's a Trump loyalist. And President Trump yesterday, number 74, we will talk some politics. And yes, we will look at all the data that's out there right now as far as this assassination. My understanding, I got a phone call yesterday that said a lot of people were waiting for President Trump to make a statement, but I have been told that he was hit so hard with this yesterday afternoon. It took him a little bit, think about it this way, for President Trump to get his composure to where he could make a statement to the nation. And that's thoroughly understood. I understand it really hit President Trump hard, among many, yesterday. And he did make a statement. But as I said, and this morning we do not have the shooter in custody. We'll discuss that. I want to say thank you, number 56, to Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia. I come to you from Georgia. I want to say thank you to the governor for lowering all the flags. All right. Mr. Charlie Kirk was killed in a tragic and despicable act of political violence. That in honor, Mr. Kirk, proclamation from the United States of America, President Trump, all flags of the United States of America and flags of the state of Georgia shall be flown at half staff until September 14th. So I want to say thank you to Governor Kemp for that. But again, as they say, you hear about the pearly gates, right? The pearly gates. And, and you always hear St. Peter. I don't know why St. Peter works the pearly gates, but it's always St. Peter working the pearly gates, as you well know, in any story it begins with. And St. Peter standing there and said, well, look here. We have another Trump loyalist. Now, although my watch, my pin, as you know, I support President Trump. Well, look here, another Trump loyalist. Look here, he's wearing a 47 hat. That's not what happened. Within an instant, the blink of an eye, Charlie Kirk heard, "Well done." And I hope I can get past that. I struggled with that all afternoon. When I arrive, will it be said? Will someone look at me and say, "Well done"? I don't know. I'm trying, folks. I'm really trying, and we will have some politics today. All right, so I want to do a little bit. Like I told you, I wasn't the big Charlie Kirk fan as far as every day the podcast, watch all the Turning Point action, rah, rah, rah. I didn't do that. And as you well know, on the show, I haven't. But I did enjoy, my favorite thing was the political debate. I love political debate. And it's very upsetting to me because all Charlie Kirk did was challenge these young people to have a conversation. And it just crushed me yesterday afternoon because every day on the show, I was talking to a friend and I said, that's all Charlie did was ask to have the conversation. That's all I do every day. I say, look, let's have the conversation. Do you know how many of you out there send me messages of disagreement on different subjects? It's all the time. And that's what I want. It's the conversation. Right? And that's all Charlie Kirk ever asked for. And that was my favorite thing. I always, there's some of you out there that know me very well. You know, some of you have sit at the kitchen table with me. You know, I love political debate. I enjoy it if we're having a good conversation. If I see it getting angry, if I see people are going to fight, I get clear away from it. That's not my interest. I'm not interested in fighting. But Charlie Kirk had that. Now, he also, there's a young lady, I want to play a couple clips before the 9 o'clock, because at 9 o'clock, we're going to talk about 9/11. At 9 o'clock, we're going to talk about the other side of this. Well, a sophomore in college asked Charlie Kirk what Bible verses, or what Bible verse, you know, I'm a sophomore in college. What Bible verse would you recommend for me? And this was Charlie's answer. Give me video 17.
As an upcoming sophomore in college, what verse would you encourage college students with the most?
It's a great question. For college students especially, John 10:10, the enemy has come to lie, steal, cheat, and destroy, but I have come to give life and life more abundantly. Psalm 97:10, if you love God, you must hate evil. And then one of my favorite verses for those people that have, if you are going through difficulty or if you see something bad and you're not sure how it can work out, Genesis 50:20, which is what the enemy meant for evil, God will use for good. And then, of course, Romans 12:2, which was God will use all things for good for those who love him. So I just gave you a bunch of verses.
Yeah.
So God bless you. Thank you so
Charlie.
much.
So I want to do several of these before we switch into some, you know, disgusting things that were said on MSNBC and some of the things going on out there. Give me video 20.
Can you please explain to everyone out here what Jesus stood for, and especially the qualities of love, how to love your neighbor even if they don't agree with you?
That's a beautiful question. So John 8, if I'm drawing from memory correctly, best embodies both Christ's mercy and love, but also his commitment to truth. And sometimes in the modern gospel, we overemphasize the grace and we underemphasize the truth.
Yeah.
And so we are far too willing to say, hey, Jesus loves everybody, but we don't get to the second part of the conversation that says Jesus doesn't want you to live in sin. So this is, in John 8, it's best embodied, right? Almost every Christian in this audience will be able to tell you the first part of this, which is a bunch of Sadducees and Pharisees who are standing around with rocks, and they're about to stone the prostitute woman. And Jesus comes up and says, let the first among you without sin cast the first stone. And everyone starts dropping the rocks. But what comes next shows that Christ is not just grace-focused, he's simultaneously truth-focused. He goes up to the woman who had a career in selling herself for sex and said, sin no more. Now, imagine today how much trouble you would get in if you would go up to somebody and say, stop sinning. Oh, you're being too judgmental. No, you're actually being Christ-like. So Jesus stood. He was 100% grace and truth. And that tension is very hard in a modern world because we want to overemphasize grace when in reality Christ loves us too much to have us continue to live in sin. He wants us to try to elevate our actions to glorify God in all that we do.
Sin no more. Thousands of kids, these kids loved him. Even the kids that disagreed with him. Now, there would be some kids go to the microphone and just say ugly stuff. He'd deal with it. Prove me wrong. I don't think anyone could, with young people, debate and take on the challenge of abortion like Charlie Kirk. Here's this one right here. I love this one for the reason this 11-year-old shows up, goes to the microphone, video 15.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Good. How are you?
What's your name?
Dakota.
Nice to meet you, Dakota. How old are you?
I'm 11.
Amazing. Give it up for Dakota being here today.
So, I'm pro-life. I'm a fiscal conservative. And I know I want to get into politics when I grow up. I don't want to get into massive debt for a political science degree. What concrete steps can I take now in order to achieve the goal of doing my part to make America great again?
Oh, great. You should go to Hillsdale College, America's greatest college, and start studying now. Start taking classes, reading books. You have to be in charge of your own education, and the fact you're thinking like this at 11 is a great sign. God bless you, and the future is very bright. Thank you. Do you want a hat?
Whew. Charlie took on anyone. These kids loved this guy. And that's all he was doing yesterday. He took on any question that came his way. I'm going to give you two more. I just want to give you a couple more. Video 14.
Okay, I have a real quick question. Just a little bit of preface. I'm going to get straight to the point, but I need to start with the first question. You love the Bible, correct?
It's the Word of God.
Exactly. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yes, exactly. So I'm just here not necessarily to debate, but more to understand your line of reasoning. I want to understand how when you practice preach religious governance and issues like that, as with your abortion and status on gay marriage, why don't you also support things like free lunches for kids? The Bible over 2,000 times mentions it, helping the needy at every instance, and that if you don't help the needy, you are not doing the Word of God, and He will not help you.
Yeah, great. Did I mention the Bible once in my abortion argument earlier?
Okay, I don't know. I'm just thinking.
No, you didn't. I just want to be clear, though. But
I'm just thinking of what I've heard before. Sorry.
No, but I do believe it's the Word of God. Of course we should help the needy. Can you show me a specific verse where it says, make sure you pay a bunch of money to the government in taxes to help the needy?
I would say specifically that I think as Christians, it should be the number one priority to find a system that works to make sure that every single person is fed. And I think it truly, if we're looking at the Word of God, you have to look at the fact that you should go through every cost yourself. As the Bible specifically says, I can pull up a verse on my phone right now that says specifically in the Bible that you should feed the needy at the cost to yourself. You should help those in needy at cost to yourself. If it's a couple pennies out of my tax dollars to feed those don't have food, I think that's a Christian obligation of the government to fulfill.
But, no, that, again, it's never biblically obligated to use the state to do that.
Okay,
the church should do that.
Okay, perfect.
And that's, so I personally give a fair amount of my tithes and my donations to local churches to help do these things, and I hope every...
Even though that young lady doesn't agree with Charlie Kirk and she's up there wanting to get her point across, She waited for this guy to get to her campus. And she wanted to debate him. She wanted to debate him, and Charlie was good with that. Why do you think I watched these for hours? I could go on and on and tell you. I probably can't name 3 podcasts he's ever done, but these here, oh, I watched all the time because he was the master at it. He was the master. I mean, he can articulate. His brain was so large. He could articulate with these kids, and these kids love him. You got to understand, I got nieces and nephews. The kids are devastated across this country. I mean, give me this one here. This is another one where Charlie would take on anyone. And this guy waited for Charlie to get there. He doesn't agree with Charlie, but let's go with video 19.
I want to let you know that I do not support you. I do not oppose you. I'm simply here just to ask a question. White privilege is a phenomenon where white people benefit from being white.
Got it. Okay. So do you want to further explain it, or would you like me to respond?
What would you prefer me to do?
Okay, fine. How about this? What can I as a white person do that you as a black person can't do?
White privilege is not in the opportunities because we have the same opportunities. White privilege is in the outcomes of the opportunities. Me and my white counterpart may have the same opportunity to get the same job. However, whites are hired at triple the rate, and blacks for the same position with equal and qualifying credentials.
Is it easier for a white person or a black person to get into college?
I would tell you, for me, going to college was difficult just based on from what I came from in my background.
Right, so the standards for a black person are lower than for a white person.
Correct.
That's affirmative action. So wouldn't
Correct.
that be like black privilege, not white privilege?
No. Affirmative action was created because...
not why it's created, but answer the question. Isn't it easier for a black individual to get in University of Florida than a white individual?
We can't understand the context. How can I answer the question?
We can talk the context. Just answer the question. Is it easier for a black person or a white person with test scores to get in the University of Florida?
I'm not sure. Like I said, that's a subjective and arbitrary. What I wanted to say about affirmative action, it was created because, same thing with DEI, it was created because people of color who qualified to go in these universities were denied simply because of their skin tone, which is why they created affirmative action. It is disingenuous to not acknowledge.
That's why we created the Civil Rights Act, not the affirmative action. So those are 3 different things, right? Civil Rights Act, affirmative action, DEI. 3 different things. Civil Rights Act, we agree no one should be discriminated based on the color of their skin. Affirmative action is something different. Affirmative action is that we're going to lower the standards to get more of a skin color just because we think they're not represented enough. DEI is a further extension of that.
I think you know all too well why they had to stop him. This guy here, I mean, he could not wait to have the white privilege conversation with Charlie Kirk. And it was handled very well. I mean, these were amazing. You should go watch these. Get off all the other BS out there today. Go watch these. They're amazing. These debates. And I got 2 more. I just want to run 2 more, and then we'll move on. Give me video 2.
Our country was founded on common law because the Declaration only refers to God 4 times in the Constitution. It doesn't refer to God at all, and it only articulates the structure of government.
So first of all, remember that we were a collection of states and colonies, and you need to read the state constitutions before anything else. 13 out of 13 required a declaration of faith. In almost every single one of the original state constitutions, they had, I profess Lord and Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Secondly, 55 out of 56 of the original signers of the Declaration were Bible-believing, church-attending Christians. You asked about common law. Well, let's go to 3 principles of common law. Presumption of innocence, due process, and jury of your peers. All 3 are biblical principles. So, and all wrapped into the ultimate biblical principle that you shall not favor justice if you are rich or poor, which is in Leviticus 19, which is the idea of blind justice, which is incorporated also in the New Testament ideal. Neither slave nor Greek nor Jew, you're all one in Jesus Christ, which you get the idea of human equality. These are all biblical ideas, but more importantly than that, they say that God was only mentioned 4 times in the Declaration of Independence. Well, that's a big deal. John Adams famously said the Constitution was only written for a moral and religious people. It was wholly inadequate for the people of any other. The body politic of America was so Christian that our form and structure of government was built for the people that believed in Christ our Lord. One of the reasons we're living through a constitutional crisis is that we no longer have a Christian nation, but we have a Christian form of government, and they're incompatible. So you cannot have liberty if you do not have a Christian population.
I think we both know. Now, yesterday he was in Utah. Give me number 86. He was in Utah. He was starting his fall tour of colleges, and he would go to these universities, and it would be, prove me wrong. I think it was right on the canopy, prove me wrong. And he would ask for people that disagreed with him to get in front of the line on the microphones. There's a lot of people young people that are there to see Charlie Kirk, but he wanted the people that disagreed with him on the microphones up front. And yesterday was the beginning in Utah of, and this is a picture of him. He's throwing out hats before it starts, throwing out hats. His very first question is his profession of his faith. And, and he says, give me video 16. This is yesterday in Utah.
That's a lot of people, Utah, I'll tell you what. We're going to be here for a couple hours. Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer.
Bring the best libs Utah has to offer. Best libs. Now, we're not going to, you know, yesterday, and I know this audience, you watched the video. So I got a message yesterday, and it just said, Charlie Kirk down. A friend of mine, Charlie Kirk down. Taken down. Charlie Kirk taken down. A friend of mine. Okay, what's that mean? And I was outside of the garage, and I was getting the weed eater out early in the afternoon. I'm getting the weed eater out. We got the text message. I don't know what that means. I'll look at it in a minute. And not even 2 minutes after that, my wife opens the front door and yells, "They've shot Charlie Kirk." And I got a chair out here. Next to, I got a chair out here next to the garage. And I just sit down. And I opened my phone, and about that time, David Cross called me. And David said, "They've shot Charlie Kirk." And I said, "Yeah, I'm going through the phone right now." My sister called me. "They shot Charlie Kirk." I said, "Yeah, let me get back to you. I'm going through the phone." And then I got a text message from my son. "Dad, they shot Charlie Kirk. Is he dead?" I said, "I don't know." And I looked at the shot. You watched the video. Give me video. I have it here somewhere. Where's it at? Video 23.
When a single gunshot rang out. We are going to play for you the moments leading up to this shooting. We're going to pause the video right before it happens, but a warning, this video is still disturbing.
Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm going to give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Right after you heard those gunshots, Kirk's body went limp. He appeared to recoil backwards, seemingly shot in the neck.
Give me 86. So my son asked me, he said, Dad, they shot Charlie Kirk. Is Charlie dead? Did they kill Charlie Kirk? And is that 86 or 84? Give me 84, sorry. And this is our last memory. And, you know, I had the video, and I don't know if they took it down. I had the video, and we all watched the close-up. You know you did. You watched the close-up. You watched the shot, and then you watched the close-up. Now, there's millions out there analyzing this today. And there's a lot of assessment and I've already looked at all of it, of what's going on. And I don't know, since we've been on the air, we'll take a break. I'll look again if they have someone. But we all saw this shot close up. And all of us, we knew while we were waiting that hour, if it was an hour, we knew. We knew. There was no way. There was no way you could sustain that wound. We knew. And we were waiting to hear. And President Trump made the announcement. President Trump made the announcement. Give me number 83. They waited for President Trump to make the announcement. Charlie Kirk is dead. So I looked on there, and Just the News, John Solomon there on Just the News, someone on his organization reported before any networks that Charlie Kirk had died. And about that time it was reported, I received a phone call from a person that knows and said they're getting ready, the president's getting ready to put out a statement. You're going to see a statement pretty soon. But Charlie has died. And I think that phone call came in about 10 minutes before this statement went up. And I didn't know how long before the statement would get up, and the person that called me, I knew they knew what they were talking about, and I'd already seen the Just the News. So I started texting family and friends and telling them. And, you know, I started texting family and friends and telling them that Charlie had died. It's 9/11. At this time here, as we're talking about this, there's Give me number 45. Nope, that's not it, Diane. I'm sorry. 48. Give me number 48. It's 9/11, 24 years later. 24 years later, 9/11. At 8:46, while we were on the air at that time, the North Tower had been struck. Okay. At 9:03, right now, at 9:03 is the second tower has been struck. On 9/11 that morning, you know, I grew up in an area where the World Trade Center was being built, I think, was it completed in 1969 or something, or 71 or something like that. I don't know right off. And we always heard when the towers were being built, if you've ever been to New York City and you looked at the helicopters, right? You looked at the helicopters and you look at everything going around in the air like flies up there, little planes, helicopters. I don't know how they keep track of air traffic around New York City. And you would hear from time to time someone say, I wonder when one of those little planes is going to go through the towers. Right? You would hear that. If you're from that area, if you grew up in that area, you heard from time to time someone say, I wonder when one of those little planes is going to go through the tower. So at 8:46 a.m., when the first plane went through the tower and it was reported, I immediately thought, you know what? One of those planes went through a tower. We always knew it would happen. It wasn't until 9:03. Because most of us watched live. Most of us watched live the second plane. Most of us watched the second plane. Now, there's a lot of controversy. We'll call it controversy around 9/11. Building 7, that was down the street. And you and I know that we have not been told the truth about that day. We know that. And because of the situation right now, I'm not going to venture into that. Can't wait to probably get a message here in a minute saying you really didn't see a plane go in the second tower. Okay. That wouldn't shock me if I got that message here soon. But at 9:03, see, the news came on, so you rushed to the TV. Like, what happened in that first tower? And I'll never forget, ABC, Peter Jennings was still still hosting ABC News. And Peter Jennings was actually reporting this as you watch the plane go in. You're sitting there and you're like, what? Go in that second tower. Then we have the plane at the Pentagon is at 9:37 and Shanksville, PA at 10:03. The government has not been honest with us on 9/11. We'll leave it there for today based on the kind of day it is. But they haven't been honest with us, and you know that. And there's a lot of people out there that really know the facts on this. But it doesn't change 3,000 people died. I don't know how long this would take. I know this video is 8 minutes long. I don't think I'm going to play it now, but I will play it soon. Soon. The evil around yesterday when we return. Take a break.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
Well, I know what's about to happen. I know. And Diane, don't let it be you. Don't let it be you. Don't jump up. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. At 10 o'clock, we will get into the Georgia Hour. I am exhausted, very candid. I'm exhausted mentally from last night. I sat outside, as you well know. If you're new to the program, I have my safe space outside. I sit out there. I think, I didn't want to go to bed. I go to bed early because I get up at 3:30 in the morning. I get up where people have tried to call me at 8:15, and that's okay. Sometimes I'm just up, right? I'm up. Sometimes I only get 4.5 hours sleep, 4 hours sleep, whatever it may be. But I sat outside last night, and I did not want to come in and go to bed because I knew when I came in and went to bed and I kept scrolling, I'm like, please, God, I want someone apprehended before I go to bed. And then when I do, I have to get up. And that's when the show comes on. And I just struggled with it. And I wrote something on X. I think it was about 9 o'clock last night. I wrote something on X. But anyhow, I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on Voice of Rural America. I tell you all the time, friends don't let friends watch what? Fox News. So, yesterday when this took place, I put the weed eater down and took a couple phone calls, and I immediately went to my safe space on the back porch, and I turned on Fox News on the TV. I know. Go ahead and say it. But I turned on Fox News. And the reason I turned on Fox News is because I figured Charlie Kirk, Turning Point Action, they would probably get the information. I mean, nobody is rushing to send information to MSNBC and CNN. And I just figure, Fox News will probably get the first piece of information. So I went there. And, we already had the video going viral of the old guy on the ground, and people say they got the shooter. So Fox News comes on, and this guy, they say, we're now talking to a witness that was in the crowd. And this kid starts telling Fox News, Martha McCowan, I think it was, he starts telling Fox News, hey, I know the guy. That's not the shooter. Everyone knows he's not the shooter. I'm telling you, this was all planned. It was staged. This is a setup. This guy, and they cut away from the kid. Because the kid started making, wait a minute. Nuh-uh, this is conspiracy. And Martha McCowan at Fox said, well, everybody's emotional at this time, and we're going to hear several different versions of events, and, we'll hope in a day or two. But they cut away from the kid, and the kid was correct. Give me video one. Very interesting. Video one.
After I got done talking to him, I really couldn't exit because there's such a big crowd. So I turned around, and like 10 to 20 seconds later, after I got done talking to Charlie, I saw that he was shot in the neck and that he was squirting blood everywhere. But I was piecing things together, and it was really weird because the second guest that I talked to, before I went and asked him the question, what I was going to ask him, he was talking to him about how he was going to ask about transgenderism or something like that. But nothing about shootings. And this is the irony that came to me, which was like, right when he asked that, not like 5-10 seconds later, he was shot. And not only that, right after that, someone confessed to it who had no weapon, which makes me think that it was clearly a setup and that multiple people were involved. So, but prior to that, that's all I saw because everyone was squirming.
Did you see anybody fire a shot?
I didn't see anyone fire a shot. I think it had to come from an elevated position for sure.
A setup. Now, the guy immediately threw law enforcement off guard, and then another person of interest threw law enforcement off guard, right? Now, this kid saying a setup. Now, play video 23.
When a single gunshot rang out. We are going to play for you the moments leading up to this shooting. We're going to pause the video right before it happens, but a warning, this video is still disturbing.
Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm going to give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Right after you heard those gunshots, Kirk's body went limp.
So, you know that it just is not a coincidence. To me, it's not a coincidence. Not at all. That the second question. Now, why didn't the shooter, okay? Why didn't the shooter kill Charlie during the first question? Did the shooter know the person that went to the mic? Who helped the shooter get away? Now, I will tell you this. It's very interesting. Diane, will you look and see if I sent you 92 about the fish fry? Give me number 59. And I might do this backwards, but anyhow, this is the FBI. The FBI is working alongside with local and state law enforcement partners in Utah to fully investigate and seek justice in the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Anyone with information, photos, video from the incident can help the FBI identify more answers by sharing files here. So they pick Utah, maybe because it's very safe generally, right? But they pick Utah. They get on a roof, right? Staged on a roof. No one picks this up. No one sees, because we have video and pictures, right? We have video and picture of something laying on the roof, and then we have video of something running across the roof. So the FBI is now relying on people there with video cameras. Maybe they're looking at traffic video, whatever. But this is after number 60 This is that, and if there's any updated information, please send it to me. I went through X during the break, and the subject in custody has been released after an interrogation by law enforcement. Our investigation continues and will continue to release information in the interest of transparency. So, FBI is asking for help. Guys on the roof. Coincidence, the question is about trans shooters and mass shootings. That's the question Charlie Kirk takes as he's murdered. Now, assassinated. So I flipped it over. Wait a minute. Relax. I flipped it over to MSNBC. And I thought to myself, wait a minute. What are they over there saying? I bet they're over there. The left's over there saying things. And I flipped it over to MSNBC. And right then, a guy called it a kill shot. The guy said a kill shot. Do you realize, in Butler, PA, Trump has always said, the president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, has always said and given credit to that beautiful graphic on the screen. Always. He absolutely loves that graphic on the screen. Why? Because at that time, if he would not have turned to look at that graphic, that would have been a kill shot. Now look here. There's your ear. It got Trump's ear. If Trump would not have turned to look at the graphic on that screen in Butler, PA, they would have gotten the kill shot. Now, an assassin, a trained assassin. Now, I know there's people out there that can really shoot. I know that. That's not me. But a trained assassin can pull the trigger on a kill shot. They don't want to pull off, and although in Butler they did pull off several, but they would like to just pull off the kill shot. Now, Corey Carpenter was killed in the line of this fire, but if Trump would not have turned his head, that would have been a kill shot. Yesterday, this was a kill shot, and an assassin knows what a kill shot is. And this went off, and I hate to put it like this, this went off as planned. As planned. Now, this guy or whomever, did not plan this alone. Now, I know there's a lot of video of people looking at, there was a guy that tapped his hat. There's already video out there saying he was given the signal, whatever. Now, I thought this was interesting because if you're going to rob the bank, what's your exit strategy? So I'm watching this morning on CNN, video 22. Listen to this, video 22.
The people who'd come out here to see him on this campus this afternoon. And in one of those videos, you can see somebody running away just after the shots were fired. So a great deal of attention being paid to all of that. And the way this campus is situated is, there's a major thoroughfare here, and then there's an interstate on the western edge of the campus. So in that chaotic moment after the shooting, it was clearly the shooter and the suspect was able to slip away. Now, whether or not he was able and how exactly he got away, we do not know at this point, and that is something that investigators are clearly intensely working on at this hour, even into this late hour. But now there have been a number of hours that have passed since all of this, and that just makes it even more difficult to track this suspect down. But let me walk you through a couple of the details that you alluded to there.
So there's an interstate. I don't know the campus. All right. I do not know the campus. Don't know anything about it. Give me number 80. Give me, or 78. Give me 78. Go ahead. That's all right. This is apparently where the shot come from. Give me number 78. Here's a visual. Charlie, here's the building, reportedly where the shot came from. Now, if you do a complete aerial, this guy, he had to go down a stairwell or something. I mean, there's a lot going on in this investigation, but I understand outside of Charlie's personal security, there was like at the event 6, maybe more, campus police, and they were drawn in at the amphitheater. My understanding, no one cleared the roofs of the building, the rooftop of the building. Give me number 81. I don't know if this is the same. There you go. Shots reported fired from the building down at the amphitheater. And that's a kill shot. Now, this individual got away because all the panic went down there. Law enforcement rushed to that, amphitheater area. But there's an interstate there. I mean, this is clearly planned out, totally and completely planned out. All right. I mean, I hope the FBI is. I'm going to trust they are. This was planned out days in advance. I mean, someone went to the location. All right. Someone planned it out, staged it. There's several involved. Now, there's going to be a lot of things come out. There'll be a lot of things come out concerning this. Now, number 10, we're just coming, when I say coming off the fear of, look at this fear. Just was that the day before or 2 days before? This young lady murdered on the bus in Charlotte, North Carolina? The fear? And then give me number 17, the hunt for justice. Charlie Kirk dead at 31, and what we know so far. FBI botches 2 arrests. Massive manhunt for the assassin. So, and it made all the headlines. All the headlines. Now, this has come out. $39. This has come out. Candace Owens retweeted this, so I don't know if it's out there any further. She retweeted this. A private jet under the tail number left Provo Airport an hour after the shooting. Suspiciously, 30 minutes into the flight, it drops off. Phew. So this kind of stuff. Now, what that means right there is you can file a flight data pattern. You can file your flight data and mark it as, private. So this is going around. I'm just telling you. So, Diane, I sent you another video. I sent you a video. Let's take a break and come back and prepare for the Georgia Hour. Let's take a break, come back, do like an 8-minute segment, close this out for the morning, and prepare for the Georgia Hour. Diane, go ahead and do that, please.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us Visit us online or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on Voice of RuralAmerica.com. 10 o'clock will be the Georgia Hour. Tomorrow, we're going to really dig into some of the reasons why Charlie Kirk's been assassinated. Now, throughout the day, I will be looking at certain sources. I will be contacting people, trying to see what's happening. I'm very cautious when, I want to make sure I bring good information, but we know generally, all right, you have watched over the past several months, and I've said it on this program, the demagnification of America. Also, you have heard over and over analyzing the future of MAGA. Now, you cannot have the youth vote moving towards Republican. You can't have Charlie Kirk out there encouraging people, young people, get a job, get married, have children, have a family. So, to me, this is clearly, 2026, 2028, and it's going to get political, and it's pretty deep of what they've done. I mean, this was enormous. You see, you out there, maybe if you're my age or something like that, I don't want to say we didn't understand, but the youth in America, they gravitate towards Theo Von, they gravitate Joe Rogan, they gravitate Shane Gillis, comedian, they gravitate Tucker Carlson, they really gravitate to Charlie Kirk. So, that being said, tomorrow we're going to go in depth on that because we have number 26. And then right after that, I want number 25. Go from 26 to 25. And Trump is mad at Benjamin Netanyahu tomorrow for that. Here's the New York Post, what we have to get back to being able to have a reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option. Charlie Kirk assassination. Number 25. The New York Post. There you go. Shooter's location, the courtyard. That is an outline with the getaway highways right next to it. So, and give me number 24. You're watching videos. So I thought what I would do, I thought there's another video at 10 o'clock. We have the Georgia Hour. So I thought what I would do is hold on to all the nasty MSNBC. Because I told you, and I'll show you that in a minute, there's someone laying on the roof. Give me number 20. A couple weeks ago. Now, I don't know why they did this. But a couple weeks, South Park pulls controversial episode on MAGA influencers after Charlie Kirk's shooting. Look, a couple weeks ago, I guess that's Cartman as Charlie Kirk. I'm scrolling and I bump into Charlie Kirk, and he's talking about this. He laughed at himself. South Park did a parody. They spoofed Charlie Kirk. To me, it was absolutely hilarious. And where did I see it? Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk was laughing at himself. He thought it was great. He did. I don't know if the word would be great, but he enjoyed it. He laughed at himself. He was actually, don't want to know the word honored, but he was, hey, I've gotten to a point where South Park wants to spoof me, and they pulled it. I don't know why they pulled it, but I actually learned about this segment on South Park from Charlie Kirk. Now, it's almost time for the Georgia Hour. Diane, I was sent another video, and I sent it to you. Because I continue, if you want to know why, when I say they killed this guy, can you play that video I sent to you? Did you load it? I didn't number it. Can you load it?
It's usually a college campus against Charlie. I've noticed the swing of a college campus.
It's totally
with
changed.
Charlie now, and it's radically different, and it's so much more fun to watch. What do you attribute that to?
You know what it is? The people in this audience are smart, and they're panicking that they're not going to have a country. They're the first generation since George Washington to have it worse off than their parents. This generation is the most depressed, suicidal, anxious, drug addicted, lowest home ownership, poorest, most overweight, directionless. No, I mean, again, this is true. And also, this generation around you has something very unique. Almost everyone in this audience here had their prom canceled because of COVID. Had their graduation ceremonies canceled. Probably lost a friend to suicide because of all the lockdowns. And they are looking for a country that they can believe in, that they can live in. So I'm not going to take credit for it. These are forces greater than us. We just happen to be at the right place at the right time.
Thank you.
Oh, can you argue with that? What's your argument there? These kids loved him. And they have emotions. They're smart kids. He said they're smart kids. And they have feelings. Like the guy that stood up and said white privilege. I was okay with that. See, Charlie knew every kid that came to the microphone at one of these college campuses was coming from something, coming from somewhere, knowing someone. As he said, probably every kid here today knows someone that may have committed suicide because of lockdowns. Graduations that were online with just pictures and the name and music. Right? No prom. This was a force to be reckoned with, and they stopped it. They could not. This is the first college. I think he had 15 on the tour. I've watched so many in the past. They could not let Charlie Kirk do a 15 college tour going into the 2026 election. Could not. Number 23, I know most of you out there heartbroken. Many of you out there are heartbroken. He left, is it Erica, his wife? Two beautiful little children, right? Little boy and a little girl. And he believed in family. So, I know they fought on the floor of Congress yesterday over a moment of silence. So let's play President Trump's statement here. We're gonna play President Trump's statement in the Georgia Hour, Diane. I want to go here, and I want to go here. Give me number. I had it here a minute ago. Where's my? There it is. 55. Trump will be at Yankee Stadium today. Look at that. What a picture and backdrop. Yankee Stadium last night honored Charlie Kirk with a moment of silence. Wow. Yankee Stadium, and you know what? We've talked about family all morning. My dad is no longer with us, number 91. I didn't really want to show you this picture, but I'm going to. Sunday morning, going to church. I got to figure out what's in my hand. But Sunday morning, going to church, leaving the house to go to church. Restore our country, heal our land. We'll be back in 11 minutes with the Georgia Hour.
Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
At Day Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Day Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics. No, slow down. It's 10 o'clock. What a day. Diane, give me number 16. I'm your host, BKP. It's time for the Georgia Hour. The Georgia Hour on voiceofruralamerica.com. And, hi, Diane. Tough morning, and I will not buy into evil and hate today. I won't do it. Let me see. Oh, thank you. That was a nice one. I like that one. Well, this one I'll have to read later. But that being said, as you know, very fluid morning. The FBI has recovered a high-powered bolt-action rifle in a wooded area where the assassin fled after killing Charlie Kirk. The suspect is believed to be college-aged. Investigators have collected footwear impression, palm print, forearm for analysis of the FBI, and there may be someone that they have a clear picture of. So that's just really where it's at right now. I have nothing new within the hour. This is the Georgia Hour, but we're coming off yesterday, Charlie Kirk being assassinated. You love to have the conversation. You didn't agree with the conversation. You didn't agree with many things he said. And he said a lot of stuff to force you to think. He said a lot of things to force you to analyze his view. Come up with your own. So he challenged a lot of people. He challenged a lot of young people. So that being said, it's very fluid. So if there's information, please send it to me. 9/11 this morning, 24 years later. So I was thinking today, at first I was going to cancel the Georgia Hour. Diane, but I thought, no, let's Let's power through. There are some things happening. Now, I go to, and we are going to play President Trump's statement in just a couple moments. But I go through international. So let's go here. The AJs, give me 87. So the Koreans are leaving today. And, there's a lot of different talk of what truly took place down there at Hyundai. But they detained South Korean workers to leave today. So there's discussion on visas. The South Korean government says that they have gone to the administration multiple times about visas, expiration, other things. Go look it up. And we do have a large investment down there in Bryan County. Large investment. This will hurt Republicans at the ballot box. I know that's going to sting when I say that because people don't like to hear that. Give me 49. So they shut down this massive plant, and I'm not even going to bring up the lady's name that claims she is the whistleblower. And yes, there were subcontractors down there on the construction side that had some illegals there. Hyundai raid rocks Georgia's hotly contested Seoul of the South, Seoul, Korea. When Republicans listed their achievements in Georgia in 2024 elections, recent gains in state's fastest growing Korean American population ranked high on the list. So, South Korea, the Korean population in Gwinnett County. Not only had Brian Kemp made South Korea one of the state's largest trading partners, I think it's our third largest trading partner. Republican So, the daughter of Korean immigrants, I don't want to get that wrong, picked up a contested state house seat in Gwinnett County, where the Korean population increased so quickly, it's now dubbed the Seoul of the South. Add President Donald Trump's improved performance among Asian American voters across the country, and Republicans here were feeling good. Now, this will be a political hot potato. We'll call it that. So, Brian Kemp, number 53, Kemp is walking a fine line over the federal immigration raid at Hyundai's mega plant or meta plant, whatever it is, complex, the crown jewel of his economic agenda. So, as the arrest of 475 workers raised alarms in Seoul and threatened Seoul's long-standing relationship with Georgia, Kemp followed up with a longer note. We are thankful they are reiterating their commitment to adhere to all state and federal laws, just as we remain committed to not allowing this unfortunate and innocent incident, to undo the decade of mutual beneficial partnership we've built together. So this became an international incident. And it will probably take President Trump to help some way to solve this. Now, if you're sitting there right now and I don't care, I mean, I'm tired of Koreans being here anywhere. I don't care. I'm tired of us selling out to these foreigners. I don't care. Shut the whole plant down. Okay. All right. No problem. No problem. Shut it down. Send them all home. I got it. These are not jobs Americans can't do. Americans can do them. We can do anything. Okay, all right already. But I'm not the one, you're not the one that brings this investment into our country. Now, Brian Kemp, he set up the Seoul, South Korea, the South Korea plant, and the LG battery factory deal with South Korea with Joe Biden when there was electric car credits, right? He set that up. He jumped out in front of everybody on electric vehicles here in Georgia. You and I know that. Our president, Donald J. Trump, I've said this several times, our president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, is asking for the auto manufacturers to come back to this country concerning tariffs. Our president of the United States is asking these foreign countries, now this, whether you like it or not, however you feel, but he's asking these foreign countries to invest in America. And if one of these businesses from a foreign country invest in America, they go where the state gives them the best tax advantages. Those are a fact. Now, this is an international incident. Give me number 35. I go to 3 different Korean websites. I read 3 different Korean newspapers. I do it all the time. More than 310 South Koreans released week after detention in U.S. immigration crackdown. Okay. Give me 36. Lee says ICE raid could make Korean firms hesitant about investing in the U.S. Lee pledges to keep a pragmatic approach on Japan following whatever resignation announcement. Lee vows to continue push for North Korea dialogue despite lukewarm response. But this guy was in the Oval Office, the president of Korea. He said ICE raid could make Korean firms hesitant about investing in the U.S. Now, when the South Koreans were here and in our Oval Office, right, Trump made a trade deal with South Korea, put a trade deal together, and President Trump also put a deal for South Korea to do shipbuilding for us. These are facts. Number 37. The Korean Times. Lee says U.S. immigration raid on Korean workers could deter investment. He said, I got to pull it up because I can't read it off the screen. President Lee, we'll leave it at that, said Thursday that the recent U.S. immigration raid on hundreds of Korean workers at a construction site in Georgia could have a significant impact on Korean businesses. So, whatever you're watching, whatever you've heard out there, whatever side you're on, this is definitely an international incident. I have gotten the messages, well, this is Trump sending a signal that if you're going to come to our country, you're going to employ Americans. Okay. Trump didn't quote say that. Well, if you're going to come here, you're going to get a visa, and you're going to get your visa renewed, or you're going to get out of the country. So if you're here and you're here illegally, you got to go. Okay? But the one thing I do know is an international incident has been created down there with South Korea. You know, the place where we have 30,000 troops staged in the Asian Pacific. So that being said, moving right along. Yesterday I reported this right here. Now this is Richard Wood, well, go ahead, give me number 11. Ex-Democrat Misha Maynor launches GOP bid for state school superintendent. Now, yesterday she was, I think, DeKalb County. She was a state representative, a Democrat state representative, and she pushed back. We'll have a full story on this tomorrow, but she pushed back because of Democrats not backing school choice. She pushed back based on schools in Georgia. And I text her, yeah, she went Republican. She lost her House seat. All right. She lost her state House seat. So she has come out still as a Republican. And she is running against number 12, the state superintendent, Richard Woods. Look this up because of current things going on. I did not get a chance, but give me number 12. I did speak to her yesterday. So if you were here yesterday, when I texted Misha Maynard, when you were here yesterday, when I texted Misha Maynard, and asked her if I could talk to her, she did. She answered me. And we spoke yesterday about 2:00. Now, she just announced yesterday that she's running for state school superintendent. And she told me when we talked, she said, I've got a max of 10 minutes. I've got to make so many calls today. And, but very soon we'll discuss all my, my platform that I'm running on. And she said, don't forget. So I got to look this up, Diane. You might help me with this or out there. You can help me out there. Don't forget that Democrats, right? Democrats, oh, I like this. I didn't see this in the article. That Democrats endorsed Richard Wood the last time around. That's what she said to me, and I didn't have a chance. But let's go here. 7-11, ex-Democrat Misha Maynor is launching GOP bid for state school superintendent. Number 12, Maynor has a long history of flouting her party that went beyond the private school voucher bill. She also voted to give state more power to investigate district attorneys, ban COVID-19 vaccination requirements, and restrict local governments from passing budgets that defund the police. So I did talk to her yesterday. I will be talking to her soon. I think I'm going to bump into Richard Wood Saturday night at an event. Maybe I get a chance to speak with him. Now, moving right along, yesterday on their podcast, Marjorie Taylor Greene, we've talked about that. Marjorie Taylor Greene, remember, number 50, Marjorie Taylor Greene says GOP is a boys' club. What do other women think? There's a woman in Congress who is having an open conversation about sexist double standards within her political party. That woman is U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the firebrand Republican from Rome. Women are keeping the family going and are raising the kids, and they're also struggling. They can't pay their bills, their credit cards are maxed out, insurance is crushing them, Greene said in a recent interview with the AJC. So she has, and this is very interesting. Give me number 54. The U.S. House Wednesday signed off on an annual defense policy bill after amending it and including restrictions on access to gender-affirming care and removing protections for transgender people in the military. That the other partisan language added to the bill caused the majority of Democrats to oppose it. U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Rome was among 4 Republicans who voted with most Democrats. Now remember, we're going to have a CR at the end of the month, continuing resolution. U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Rome was among 4 Republicans who voted with most Democrats against the legislation. That came after bipartisan majorities voted down her amendments to restrict funding to Ukraine and roll back other types of foreign aid. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boys Club, her party, 2 days ago, or was it yesterday, we talked about, she said she doesn't see a governor candidate or a Senate candidate that she can really get behind right now. Some of you feel, I've gotten messages that Burt Jones can't win the general election and Mike Collins can't win the general election. But what is Marjorie up to? Since she did not get Trump's endorsement for governor, and it's likely she's not going to get into the Senate race and get that Trump endorsement, is she just trying to blow everything up? Because I have to tell you, if you take 2026, if you take Turning Point action, not out of it. Now, Charlie Kirk, Turning Point Action, the entire organization, they are the only structure, not the Georgia GOP Inc., not the Georgia GOP Inc., not Josh McCoon, the chairman of the Georgia GOP Inc. Turning Point, like, dislike, what you think of them, whatever, they're the only group that can put together an action plan on 2026. So I'm not saying they're out, but you take that element out. And then you have this lady crashing the boards on everything. And then you have the international incident down there in the 1st District. Everything's stacking up. Now, that also leads me here, number 51. I actually think this guy could end up being the state senator here, Estevez. He resigned his state Senate seat. I think he could actually end up being the Democrat candidate on the general election ballot up against Chris Carr, Burt Jones, and we're still waiting to see what Brad Raffensperger does. So look, folks, we're right at the bottom of the hour, and I'm not going to let 9/11 pass. I play this video every year, and I'm not going to let it pass. And I'm hearing that Tucker Carlson's going to come out with his 9/11 series, but still, I want to play the video. We're going to play this. It takes a couple minutes. Then we'll come back and wrap up the Georgia Hour. Give me video 12, Diane.
C'est vraiment étonnant. Ce matin, je me disais justement, si des terroristes voulaient faire une attaque, je regardais la statue de la liberté. Ce matin, quand j'étais sur le bord de l'eau, je pensais justement à quelqu'un qui voulait faire un attentat. La statue de la liberté, ce serait un symbole, tu sais, à détruire. Mais là, je disais, c'est sur une île, c'est difficilement atteignable, tu sais. C'est la liberté aussi. C'est ça. Puis, mais là, c'est curieux quand même. Là, tout à coup, enfin, ça a l'air d'un attentat, on ne sait pas, mais... Ouais. C'est vraiment un étage, hein, ça trouve tout ce qui est au-dessus de cet étage-là, c'est... Mais comment tu fais pour combattre un feu dans ça? C'est quelque chose, quand même. Mais à cette échelle-là... Je me demande bien qu'est-ce qui peut brûler. C'est du béton, du verre. Ce serait juste comme le mobilier, quoi. Plein de structures, toutes les cuirasseurs, tout ça. Impressionnant, tout cas. Ça a l'air de bien brûler, parce que les flammes... Où ça? Où ça? Entre les poteaux, là. Ah ouais? Sac. As-tu vu ça? On rêve-tu ou quoi?
From that angle, what say you? It's almost like It's almost like right before impact, that plane disappears. It's almost like that. So I'm waiting for some more information to come out. Today's just not the day I want to go into it. Building 7. I mean, collapsed. Nothing hit Building 7. I have said multiple times on this show, I never wanted to believe that my government would cover something up. I never wanted to believe that my government would do something that would cause me to question all their motives. I didn't want that for years. And it changed for me on 9/11. I understand there's several series coming out. All right. Several series coming out concerning 9/11 that are going to be very interesting and very telling. But it doesn't change the fact 3,000 people are dead. So I remember that day. Now, that being said, so this guy right here, number 51, we're going to talk about this in just a minute. Number 51, this is the state senator, Estevez. Now, Estevez resigns state senate seat to focus on governor's race. All right. And Democrat Jason Estevez resigned his state senate seat Wednesday to focus on his bid for governor, making him the first Georgia lawmaker this cycle to give up a post early to pursue the higher office. Now, this is going to push a lot of things into question. I do not anticipate Burt Jones resigning as lieutenant governor. I don't anticipate Brad Raffensperger because Gabriel Sterling is running for Secretary of State. I don't anticipate Brad Raffensperger, if he steps into the governor's race, I don't anticipate him resigning as Secretary of State. We shall see. And Chris Carr resigning from Attorney General. Now, if anything, after the next session is over, now Chris Carr may resign as Attorney General so he can raise money. Keep that in mind. Chris Carr has made an attempt to raise money, and he has also taken, because of the funds, I forget the name of them right off the bat, the leadership funds that they created that Burt Jones has access to, and Burt Jones can collect campaign cash during the session because of the leadership funds. Chris Carr has gone to court. It says that's a disadvantage, and he should not be allowed to do that, and that's been struck down by the court. That being said, I don't know about Brad Raffensperger, but I don't know, because Jordan Fuchs, my understanding, has left the Secretary of State's office, right? And Gabriel Sterling has resigned from the Secretary of State's office. You might feel we're much better off with them not being there, okay? But that being said, I don't know if Brad Raffensperger will resign, but this is a prediction. I don't know that you won't see Chris Carr resign as Attorney General. And it would be interesting to see who Brian Kemp. Now, let me just say this, okay? This is how it works in Georgia. A constitutional officer, remember Bruce Thompson? God rest our dear friend Bruce Thompson. A constitutional officer resigns in the state of Georgia. Governor Kemp gets to appoint someone. You got it? Are you listening? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Don't forget this play is out there. Now, this guy here, he's serious, right? He cannot serve this term in the Georgia State Senate and raise money. And I think he has the momentum behind him. In fact, Keisha Lance bottoms who? Right? I think this is the front runner. I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy from DeKalb, I don't think so. This is the front runner. And he's going to raise money. He's serious. So he's resigned so he can raise money. There'll be a special election in his district. Democrats will not lose his district. Now, moving forward, don't forget, John King at the Insurance and Fire Safety Commissioner in Georgia is appointed. Governor Brian Kemp. Right? So, now, Attorney General Chris Carr has not won the favor of Brian Kemp yet. And if it ends up Burt Jones, Brad Raffensperger, and Chris Carr may trade the Attorney General's office for the Attorney General of Brian Kemp's choice, right? For that endorsement or financial support or something. Got it? Just remember, that's all out there hanging. Because Kemp would get the appointment. He would get the appointment. This is way out there, but we got to put it on the table. Kemp would get the appointment. The appointment would be the Attorney General Brian Kemp wants. And it would also be the Attorney General that would have an I for incumbent next to their name in the primary. Right? And we Republicans, we hate to have primary opponents. Oh, watch. Now, Secretary of State. Brian Kemp was once Secretary of State. He has a little passion for the place. So what if Brian Kemp picks a Secretary of State? What if Brad Raffensperger resigns Secretary of State to run for governor? We don't know. We'll just put this one out here, right? And what if Brian Kemp gets the appointment of Secretary of State, and that said Secretary of State would run as the incumbent? Oh, it's been done multiple times. Multiple times, right? It's been done multiple times. You check it out. Check it out. See how many. Now, I know we only got 20 minutes, and I have a couple more things I want to go over. Don't forget, number one, the judge said, put a stay. This is not even on the docket. Fulton County Republican Party nominees to the Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections, Jason Frazier, he's not on there. Julie Adams, not reappointed at this time. The appeals court does not even have this on the calendar. And they struck down the Republican Party being paid by the RNC to get it on. They struck it down. So it's not even on the court calendar to get them on the board of registration and elections in Fulton County. Now, that being said, don't forget, we're going to put this up here. Number 2. Number 2, right there, District 2 and District 3. Don't forget. Now, Diane, I'm going to have you Google something in a minute. I just thought of it. I thought of it yesterday, but I forgot to do it this morning. So I forgot to do it. I'm going to ask you if you can Google it in a minute. Qualified candidates. Don't forget, this is in November. This is our Public Service Commissioner race. And now, I don't know that Brian Kemp would appoint Tim Fleming, number 4. But don't forget, Tim Fleming was former chief of staff for Brian Kemp. And he became the fall guy, and he got fired from Brian Kemp's office. Just saying, don't forget that. He's running for Secretary of State. Now, we have SD District number 7. SD District State State Senate District 21. We have the Democrat and the Republican. The Democrat has the largest vote count in the jungle primary. The Republican there, Jason Dickerson, we have till September 23rd. It's 9/11. Early voting starts, I think, Monday. And then for this race, let the Democrats capture that. Now, Diane, this is the question I have for you. Could you just Google, give me a yes or no? You don't have to crop it out. You do what you want. Is Netflix, right? Is Netflix releasing a documentary on Vince Dooley? Is Netflix releasing a documentary on Vince Dooley from UGA, and when? Could you check that for me? Give me number 3. Don't forget, Brian Kemp. I was trying today to not go completely over the top politically. I don't want to say ugly things. I mean, I never want to say ugly things, but number 3, we got Brian Kemp and we got Derek Dooley. And remember this here. I got Diane. Diane's like, do you want me to Google this or you want me to put a picture up? Which one do you want? I kind of feel this might be what she wants. What do you want? So, I'll take either one. Number 3. Thank you, Diane. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Do it. Save it tomorrow. Okay. So don't forget, this is Brian Kemp and his guy, Vince Dooley. Now, Derek Dooley, his son. Okay. Netflix does not have an official announcement for the documentary specifically about Vince Dooley, but multiple unsourced reports have suggested a Netflix documentary about the Georgia Bulldogs football program in development and would include Dooley. An official announcement from Netflix is needed to confirm the documentary's existence. Now, some news and fan sites claim Netflix is producing a documentary on the history of the Georgia Bulldogs. See that good news? Netflix set to release documentary. Go to the Vince Dooley one right under it. See, click on that. Does that show you? Right? Georgia Bulldogs, the Vince Dooley show. Now, yesterday it started going around the internet that Netflix is producing a documentary that involves Vince Dooley of the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm just putting it out there because wouldn't that be one heck of a campaign, right? Netflix set to drop explosive Georgia Bulldogs documentary. All right. Just saying, into the dynasty. Wouldn't this be like just awesome timing? Awesome, wouldn't it be? So go back to number 13. So are some things being put in place for this guy? I mean, is it just things are working out? Now remember, Kemp helped him get a mega donor. And I'll tell you what has happened in the AJC and other websites, because I cruise them all. If you get articles or something on Mike Collins, send those to me, because all of the news outlets are cooling off. They are. All the news outlets are cooling off. Mike Collins stories. Now, wait a minute. I got to make sure. I want to see what I have left here because I don't want to run out of time. We're gonna finish with President Trump's statement. Most of you have heard it, but we're going to play it again. I was watching CNN last night, and President Trump came out with a statement, and CNN did 30 seconds and then cut away from it. I mean, absolutely cut away from it. It was so... now, yesterday, did I send you 92? Because give me this right here. Give me 47. Oh, I don't want it yet. Thanks, Diane. I don't want it yet. All right. Now, Charlie Kirk put this out, and I want to clear something up. Charlie put this out. Right now, millions of people are finding out you can be a magistrate judge in many states without being a licensed lawyer. Teresa Stokes never passed the bar exam, fully empowered to let repeat criminal offenders roam the streets to murder innocents. All right. And this is Charlotte, and this is Teresa Stokes. Now, I don't know the laws. In hold on, I'm going to Google it. I don't know the laws in North Carolina, but I don't want people misunderstanding here. Hold on. Hold on. All right, this should get me an answer. Okay, so come on there. You can do it. The Georgia Code, I wanted to get this number right so I didn't get attacked. The Georgia Code does not tie basic eligibility for magistrate judge to county population, unlike some judicial offices. For example, probate judge in counties with populations over 96 must be attorneys. All right. While state law has no population-based rule, it does permit counties to add their own qualifications to chief magistrate or other magistrates through local law. Now, so in the state of Georgia, a probate judge, and I don't know that that's 100% correct, and I'm going to look it up, but I do know this, a probate judge in Georgia If you're in a county under 96,000 in your population, you don't have to be a lawyer, but you have to be a lawyer over 96,000. Now, your magistrate judge does not have to be an attorney. They do not. Now, your local charter in your county can put some stipulations in and requirements, but there's no state law that says they have to be an attorney. The county I live in, our magistrate is not an attorney. Now, he's a former police officer. All right? He's a former police officer, but he's not an attorney. The county where Diane lives, your magistrate judge down there, Diane, is not an attorney. Now, he is a former state patrol officer, but he's not an attorney. So you got to understand, when you see this and you're taken back, wait a minute. You mean the judge is not even an attorney? They don't have to be. Magistrate court is still considered what's called the people's court. Yes, it's the people's court. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't advocate that it has to be an attorney. I don't. And we'll talk about that at a later time. Now give me 92. Central Georgia Republican Fish Fry 2025, Saturday, September 27th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. New location. You see the location, Warner Robins. There's a little confusion around this event. And as you can see, Houston County, Peach County, Taylor, Bibb, Jones, Crawford counties, they have come together. They are the sponsors. These Republican parties are the sponsors of the event. Now, what confusion is surrounding the event is just this, okay? The confusion surrounding the event is in the 8th District of Georgia, Warner Robins area, for years, the 8th Congressional District Republican Party held a fish fry. It was well known. It was at one time the largest political fundraiser in the state of Georgia. But I think last year, the 8th Congressional District in Georgia, Republican Party voted not to continue with this fundraiser. Not to continue with it. They ended it. So this is not in competition. There's number one. This is not in competition. This is not these counties thinking in Warner Robins, same area, hey, we'll do a fish fry. They wanted to keep it going because it's so successful. And I will tell you this, it's going to be a major event. It really is. It's going to be an enormous major event. I don't know if they're complete on the candidates. I know they're getting all these candidates to come in. They're trying to figure out how everybody can come in and speak. Now, another part of the controversy that I've heard, and there's no need to have controversy. Our goal is to get the information of voters. That's it. So I was originally asked, would I speak at this event? And then they need all the time. I mean, they're struggling now because there's still candidates that want to come to this event. This is going to be large. And so they're struggling to get every candidate and the people they do have set to speak in the time slots. So we are, and you can see down there, Voice of Rural America, and we thank you so much for putting our logo on the flyer. We are doing a 3-hour live broadcast. So it will be the Georgia Hour hour. Yes, 3 hour. And we're going to be coming on the air that Saturday at 10:30 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon. I need to get set up. And 2, I want to say hello to people. And Diane and I have to do some sound tests before we go live in the morning. And then I've got to shut down and I want to say hello to people. And I'm going to stay afterwards. I'm going to be busy all day. I'll be in work mode. I just got to tell you like that. When I do something, I go into work mode. Diane can tell you what happens. All right. And I can't stand when I feel like I'm being rude. People come up and say hello and I feel like I'm being rude, but I'm going to stay afterwards. All right. Live broadcast with BKP. It's right there on the screen. And what my goal is for those 3 hours is just to bring you information. Have candidates sit down, ask you, hey, what candidates did you talk to today? What questions did you ask them? So we're going to have audience and candidates for 3 hours at this event just to get you the voter information. I'm looking forward to this. Diane, yesterday, the president, I want to do this, then I come back and I want to sign off and say, have a nice day. Give me the President Trump video 13 from last night concerning the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the 2 young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Diane, I sent you another video. Did you get it? And if you did you load it? And if you loaded it, could you play it? Did you see the other video I sent?
This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. The FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print.
So it looks like they're saying they have a weapon. You know what? I have to close by saying thank you. I really do. So many of you sent the nicest messages. We're in this together. Some of you don't like Charlie Kirk. Some of you don't. Some of you don't like things he said. But, on this show, I have never, and I mean, I was thinking about it last night, and Diane, you could tell me, I have spent a lot of time on this show discussing people I don't care a lot for, talking about corruption, talking about criminals, but I don't recall ever wishing harm. That bothers me. I don't recall actually coming here and wishing harm on someone. And I have video here where people said nasty stuff and wished harm, the internet. And I do not recall on my worst day being angry, I hope that something happens, or wishing harm. And that bothers me. That bothers me. And I appreciate all the words, kind words, that you said today. Give me 91. I showed you this earlier, just, talking about church and everything like that. So when I tell you, that's my dad. My dad's been gone for 3 years. That's my baby. Oh, I hope she's watching. I hope she is watching. That's my baby brat sister. Oh, Lord, am I in trouble? She a brat, but I love her. No, she knows that. I would pick on her. Now, let me just tell you something while I got. See, my dad is holding my baby sister, okay? And then there's my brother, and then there's my other sister, Lee, which I love my entire family. But the little one, I played baseball 7 days a week. And I'm probably 8 years old, and my brother's probably 6, right? And the littlest one, everywhere I went, and I don't know if you noticed this, she's looking at her big brother. Everywhere I went, she went with me. The littlest one, the baby, she went with me everywhere I went. But anyhow, and you can't tell, but the back of that car is a Buick Riviera. Oh, those were the days. Are you going to buy my book? Because I'm going to write a book. And the first book I write, I'm going to write 3 books. And the first book I write is going to be called 1970 something. On the show every once in a while, I'll say, let's just call it 1970 something. I might throw that tie, my dad's tie. Come on. Tell me you know that tie ain't 1970 something. God bless you. God bless America. And we're going to be okay. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m.